Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Game Awards Roundup with Handsome Phantom. I'm Dustin. Alongside me, my panel of experts. We got Ben Smith.
Hey.
We got Brandon Duncan.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And Phil Nyman. We're in a little bit of a different setting. We're actually here in sunny California, in Anaheim.
Anaheim it is.
And we were at the Game Awards last night. It was really cool. So before we go into the announcements and the awards, how was it for you guys being at the Game Awards?
A little bit surreal, maybe. I mean, been watching them for years, even before they were officially the Game Awards back on Spike TV and everything. Right. Pretty intense.
Yeah, no, I mean, the setup was super awesome. I've only been to a couple conventions, and it was very grand, seeing just all the lights, all the decorations. It was surreal. That's the best way to describe it.
It's when, and before we got in the theater, you looked at me and you said, like, it's when we walk in there, it's gonna feel like crazy.
Yeah.
And it was. You were totally
seriously,
right.
Yeah.
So Phil, you're a show, like, you have never been to either a PSX or a PAX or anything like this. This was your first.
That was my first time. And not having been around those people, like, I know at one point I looked up and Reggie was, a couple rows in front of me, and you guys are sending me pictures from throughout the auditorium.
Sorry.
It's surreal is a good word. I don't get starstruck necessarily. Like, I never feel obligated to go up and talk to these people, but just being in the same room as people that you've seen on TV and streams throughout your whole life is pretty cool.
We had a little group text going on, and I was like, I can see Reggie right now. Yeah. So let's talk about the show in a broad scope. The Game Awards has had like a rocky start, especially coming off of before it was the Game Awards being like the VGX and then the Spike. Was it the Spike Game Awards?
It was, yeah.
Back
in the Joel McHale days.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
No, but I think a lot of people, the general consensus is that this was a really good. This was where the show has hit its stride now. I feel like each year it's been like slightly tainted, like, and it's been getting less and less every time. Like specifically, there was like the Schick Hydro bot that was just like very clearly like they had to do this to pay for the show.
Yeah.
Right. But no. So what do you guys think about that?
I think I was talking, thinking about this a little last night too. I think they finally got to a point where they can be in the conversation with the Oscars and the Emmys. And I think the big advantage they might have is try getting a ticket to the Oscars and see if you can do it. Mm-hmm. But people are talking behind me. The kids are so excited. For $20, they were able to be at the Game Awards last night.
That's right.
And that's not something that you're going to be able to do for any other medium.
I wonder if at some point it won't be open to the public, or if it is, there's very limited and it's very expensive.
Right.
I would think at some point that has to happen. There's obviously more room for it to grow. I know they had sections in the top, blocked off. We weren't crammed in there or anything like that.
Yeah.
So there's room for it to grow as far as the audience.
Phil, they moved you up even.
They did, yeah. I know they had a lot of seat fillers moving around throughout the night, and they had some open seats, and they moved me up there, and there's a little confusion, but I ended up getting to sit pretty close towards the end of it, for the second half.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. Like, as the production value of the whole thing is going to go up, people's friends hear that how awesome it was last year. You see all these awesome videos, they get a bunch of views, and people are just going to want to come to it. You know what I mean?
Something I wanted to ask, did you guys feel, and I have my own thing on this, but did you feel like it was different watching it on TV in previous years or on the computer rather than in person? Like, what is it that went on that maybe the people who were at home didn't get to see that was interesting?
I don't know if this is interesting. I always thought, like, when I watch the Oscars, like, so what do they do during commercials?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think they're watching the commercials at the Oscars, but last night, and if you saw an ad on the stream, then we were watching it too, which is usually just when I brought out my phone because it was like, oh, great, another Rocket League.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
right. I think the other thing too is when you're there, the setup that they had. I know originally I was behind that round kind of like stage area,
right,
and it seemed to be obstructing view. But what you don't realize is that they're actually doing a lot of the filming from right there. So when I thought I was going to be, away from the stage, not able to see, I actually could see a lot of that stuff a lot closer. You don't get that when you're watching the stream. You just see whatever the camera's showing you. You have no idea where those things are located.
Yeah. No, yeah.
It's kind of cool.
And I mean, as it'll play what videos you're seeing up on the screen when you're watching the stream and stuff, but there's a lot more to it. I mean, like all the lighting and just the way the sound dynamic was in there and being around other people cheering. Obviously, you could hear the audience, but like when I'm watching it on TV, it's almost like a laugh track. Like I don't even realize that that's real people. I don't even know if it is real people. I assume.
And I think that Zelda moment with the spotlights really kind of capped that. Like,
dude,
that was awesome.
That shouldn't have worked on paper.
No,
Someone
like they're like, we want the creator of Zelda to come out with Fog on the stage. He's gonna pull the Master Sword out, and there's gonna be epic music playing. It's like, no, that should not have worked. But and maybe it was bad on stream,
right?
Like,
but in person,
in person, it was awesome.
Right?
It was amazing.
Honestly, the part with the like 4 divine beasts where it showed the light on Ganon, I thought that was so cool.
Oh. Yeah,
that was amazing.
Yeah.
I thought it was such a nice nod to the game. And someone behind me, it's kind of ruined a little bit, took me out of it, but he's like, what the fuck is this? Because it was just Ganon swirling around the castle with lights. And I'm like...
But having been there and seeing that in person, I give Sony a little more of a pass last year at E3 for putting bodies hanging from the ceiling. Maybe that was cooler in person than it was on the stream, because that stuff didn't look like it worked when we were watching it in the theater.
For the people who weren't there, what happened, so during that Zelda trailer, you see the different lights shining on it, and that was baked into the video. But in person, there were actual spotlights going on as well.
So and it was cool. I don't know if they had just like the right amount of fog, so it was like they were beams. Like in the game.
Yeah.
Which was really cool.
Super awesome.
And then I got to be completely honest with you guys. There was about a 5-second period when they raised that screen up and they showed that whole, green area behind him pulling out the sword that I wasn't 100% sure it wasn't real.
Yeah.
Or at least props.
Mm-hmm. Those screens they had,
screen,
it's amazing too, because I remember like going to music festivals growing up and it'd be like, oh, they have a jumbotron, which is really cool. These screens now are amazing, and that's something we were talking about on the way home. Was that main screen? I'm almost positive was like a super like HDR amazing screen. Yeah. Because even Zelda, which is not like an HDR or 4K game, like I'm like, you will never see Zelda looking this good as sitting right here right now.
Yeah.
No, for real. When I was even watching like the nomination videos or like when the orchestra was playing, watching them on that screen, I was like, wow. That reminded me of how amazing some of these games can look.
Yeah.
And it's just so cool because it's been so long since I played Horizon specifically is the one I'm thinking of. And looking back at all the monsters and stuff on that big screen with all the excitement, it's like, man, it reminded me a lot why I love that game.
Mm-hmm.
So something that was new this year was the Game Awards Orchestra. And this is something we were all excited about, but I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that we were all pretty equally blown away. It was even better than what we expected.
Right.
I would agree with that. Yeah, for sure.
I wasn't sure at first if they were going to be like down in some sort of pit or something.
What I thought they would do,
That's what I figured they would do, and it would be like in the background. The one Sony E3 that we went to, that's what it was. It was cool, but they were just like in a pit and they played. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Not like this, dude. They were fucking on stage. It was
performing.
It was in your face. It was the giant screen behind them with the graphics of the game they were watching. Honestly, one of the coolest things that's ever happened in my entire life. To be completely honest, I'm serious. It was fucking amazing.
They had and the pyrotechnics too. In the first one, they had
that was awesome.
fireworks coming down.
Like,
I got a great shot of that. Yeah,
a whole package, and I don't know, is definitely. I've always been blown away by things I've seen at PSX as far as keynotes and the energy. But when they came out with that band and there was all those awesome graphics behind and the pyros, it's just. Made me so proud to be a part of the gaming industry.
There was something special.
There's tears in his eyes. I can see them.
Well, there was something for you even. So the Game Awards Orchestra was, I think, 3 different sets, or we'll say performances. Once was like a general overview. The second one was a Overwatch, like overture,
that was cool,
medley
a
type
tribute.
thing.
Yeah. No, it was amazing. I was very touched by multiple moments in that. I teared up, but I literally cried. Mm-hmm. There were tears coming down my face during the Overwatch one specifically, and just an amazing performance, and just continue to be blown away by that orchestra specifically. That was my favorite part. If I had to have a favorite part of the whole thing.
If I was critical about anything though, when it comes to that, I would have liked to, because the first thing they did was announce the winner, and then they played the songs. I would like to have heard pieces from the 5 songs. Or from the 5 games nominated, and then the award be announced.
Yeah.
They kind of did it a little backwards. It's kind of a minor complaint.
It was cool. And so, the last one was the 5 nominees.
For best game.
Little
Yeah, for
surprise
game
at
of the
the
year.
end, which is the only part that I didn't like was they had I can't remember her name, but the girl who sang the
Oh,
Super
yeah.
Mario Odyssey Jump
Yeah.
Up Superstar come out, but you guys didn't notice, but a lot of people, I noticed it there, and a lot of people online were like, yeah, she clearly lip synced it. She wasn't singing it
Right.
live, which I don't know. There has to be a good reason why they didn't. Maybe she's just not.
Well, here's the reason. Shut up, because I want to believe.
Right,
believe-
right.
I wanna believe
Yeah,
that it was
honestly,
real.
like if you wouldn't have told me anything, I would have just assumed because I was like, wow, I was so in the moment. It was so amazing. I was like, this is like one of the best things ever. But I don't know. Some people aren't as good in live as they are in the studio,
Yeah.
so maybe they were just worried about like something flubbing up or something.
The one thing that kind of took me out of the moment is during the time where I think it would have been when the audience online was watching commercials, you could see them like handing out the Mario hats.
I was gonna ask if you guys could see that.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
definitely could
Yeah.
see that. And I was like, I don't
Yeah.
know what's going on, but are they like
And they were
preparing for
teaching them
something?
how to put the hats on.
I know.
Like it was such a weird thing. Like
I
they
didn't
know how to put a
notice
hat
that
on.
at all.
Yeah,
I
it
saw
was-
people
it was
showing
very
them, they're like-
strange. Maybe it was
You know,
because
like,
where
it
I was
looks
sitting, I could
terrible.
see
Yeah.
everything. Yeah,
I was probably just looking at my phone.
I was not paying attention to that.
but I almost thought, okay, so are they like
Yeah.
telling these people that Mario won Game of the Year and they're gonna throw their hats on and celebrate, but it was for that little
And
number.
then I was pissed because I was only about 4 rows back from there, and I wanted a hat.
Yeah.
I didn't
I
get
don't
my
blame you.
damn
That's
hat.
right. You could have got the hat.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of when they did the little pieces from all of the Game of the Year nominations.
Yeah, that was cool.
I haven't played PUBG, but I don't know what the fuck they played. But I
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's music in that game.
Is that the only
There-
song that plays
it
on
might
the
be
only
the
map that they
song-
have?
I think it's the song like on the main menu.
Yeah, it's like
maybe.
it just seems so silly that like
But they made it sound good.
we
I mean,
have
I don't know.
it did sound good. I'll give it that. But the fact that it was that music and
Right.
the orchestra had to play such beautiful, well thought out pieces next to this battle royale shooter, this like where she was clunking on her violin thing,
Right.
Oh
fucking
yeah.
cello, whatever.
Yeah,
the-
but
She's so good.
okay, but her
Talent-
doing that is amazing.
Oh my
talented.
goodness.
Don't get
So
me wrong.
good.
Yeah.
But the fact that like
It looks like she's clunking on it, but she's weaving a masterpiece when she's doing it.
yeah,
Like,
so
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. So aside from announcements and awards, is there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about? I'm trying to think what else there was.
eBay,
Phoenix.
eBay.
It was,
Phoenix
eBay.
was decent.
Phoenix was there. They played their one new song, and it was okay. I don't know how it sounded on the stream at home, but it was really, really
bad.
bassy.
Yeah.
yeah, I thought once again that the screen behind them made the performance way cooler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was more caught up in that. I
was
thought it
too.
was great because of the visuals of it.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know the song. I don't really care about the band.
Yep.
But the screen was so colorful. it
Also,
looked great.
the lights to their song was really cool
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah.
props to the light guys in the.
Also, I was trying to figure out if
screen
Dave
guys.
Grohl was playing keyboard for them the whole time.
Ew.
because
That would be something.
I
Yeah.
also, Jeff Keighley's the name of the guy that did
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought he did a great job.
Yeah.
Not that he's never not done a good job. Even back in the day when they weren't such as good, he was always really serious.
he's
and,
had
like,
to own the garbage.
Really
he's
good.
Really, yeah.
But I thought he did
good
an
this year.
exceptional job. There were a few bumps even with a couple of the people he was talking to,
goodness.
but I think he did a great job. So.
Yeah, it's and I started with that it's had some rocky moments, and it's been real, like, I don't want to say cool, but people have hated on the Game Awards,
Yeah.
talked about
Yeah.
how bad it was, but it's like none of us have any clue on what it's like to try and run a show like that.
Right.
And
For
sure,
real.
it's insanely
Yeah.
hard. It takes months of planning and then insane amount of practice and rehearsal, and then
Yep.
Well, dude, also, like, think of shows of this caliber. Like, the Oscars are hosted by someone different every year, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But that's his baby.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
like,
right. True.
he's not going to be there.
Well, who's going to know it better than him?
Right.
Yeah, and that's and that's what I'm saying. But it still just puts the pressure that, like, oh, well, someone's going to do it different next year. But
Yeah.
he's going to be doing it.
Right.
It's
So.
it's cool that he, and this is something he mentioned on Twitter, is that it's like very clear the most outspoken feedback was like definitely taken into consideration and changed. Like, it used to be like 3.5 hours long. That's the Joel McHale one.
Yeah.
I
I wish they had brought Joel McHale in for presenting an award or something.
Yeah,
that
that
would have been
would've been
pretty
Oh,
great.
Ju-
yeah.
Just as a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe next year, since this is the first year that I think it was through and through.
Jeff,
So
call
Jeff
Joel.
Keighley.
Joel McHale.
Call
him
Joel.
up.
I've got his number here real quick if you need it.
So let's talk about. Do
Can
you
we
guys,
go one more thing real quick?
Oh yeah, go for it.
I thought the Andrew House thing was really awesome too.
It was
I
cool.
think that was a cool kind of send off for him because I'm not sure if Sony's going to do anything this weekend like that. So it was cool that the Game Awards kind of took that time to do that.
And one other thing, come on, eBay.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I get it, but come on.
Some people were tweeting. I saw someone tweet that was like, "I wonder how the big publishers feel about the Game Awards plugging
Yeah.
eBay the whole time."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that you know?
I mean, it's first sale stuff. Like eBay has its own warehouses that they send stuff out from. So
Mhm.
like it's a little different than people selling used stuff or third party stuff, whatever. But
There were better deals on Black Friday too.
there were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we
Which makes
ready
sense.
to get into the reveals?
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
The most reveals of any Game Awards for sure, and some of the real big
big
ones.
ones, yeah.
Some of them I'm sure we'll talk about more in depth. Some of them we're just gonna probably breeze over. The first reveal was there's a World War Z game coming,
Mhm.
and did it even have any gameplay? Or
I don't know if it was gameplay or
It
not.
looked like it was in engine. I don't know.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't a cinematic.
Right.
So
it's interesting since we had another zombie game in the show we'll talk about later, but this just looked like, I don't know.
it did.
It had that iconic moment from the World War Z movie with the zombies climbing on top of each
Yeah.
other.
Right.
And other than that, there's nothing about it that made it World War Z.
No
Yeah.
Brad Pitt.
I mean, there was like a
That's
massive.
right. No Brad Pitt.
There was like a massive amount of zombies, but I felt like Days Gone did that, and it looked better.
I feel like it's just too late.
Yeah.
The zombie craze is over.
Not even the zombie craze, but the World War Z craze.
There is a
Oh,
sequel
yeah.
coming out though. There's another
Yeah,
movie coming out,
I
so
know.
they might try to time that together. I think that's the only way it makes any money.
I agree with the World War Z. I mean, zombies are kind of burnt out for me too, but Days Gone seems good. This does not.
Yep.
It just seems like honestly, I don't know a whole lot about it, but it seems kind
it
of
might be so early.
it seems
Yeah. I mean,
generic.
Yeah,
We'll see more. I know we will. So
I'll probably play it.
probably.
Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
The studio behind Job Simulator is making a new game, a sequel called Vacation Simulator.
yeah.
I thought this just looked awesome, looked super cute and fun. I still haven't played Job Simulator yet,
Yeah, neither have
but I
I
really
play it,
want
Phil?
to.
Yeah, I've played it, but the controls are real janky. Like
Yeah.
you go to pick things up, it doesn't know where you're located. It
My
just-
wife
it's
doesn't
not
think
great.
janky's a word.
Janky is
It's
it's the only
100%
word.
is.
I
word.
know. I use it all the
The
time.
controls are either smooth or janky.
I say
not-
janky and wonky.
janky,
Yeah,
wonky.
for sure.
Well, especially like Skyrim jank. That's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
trademarked, I
I
think,
know.
by somebody.
She doesn't get on the internet.
Oh, well,
Ricky Bobby Inc.
She doesn't updo anything.
she doesn't do the updates, no.
No. Stupid up, dude.
So this next one, I told you guys this last night. I like audibly said, "Oh my god!" Like I was like a white girl, like surprised or something at that moment from this next reveal, and from Software, extremely vague, very brief tease.
Couple seconds.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
Describe one of you. Could you describe the trailer for someone who hasn't seen it? You could watch it, but go watch it.
yeah.
Whatever.
I don't know what was in the trailer, so I
So it could have been
Some
like
kind of
8 different
weapon.
things. At first, it looks like they were putting a bow together maybe or something like that. But then
Yeah.
it looked like I don't know. I thought it might have been Tomb Raider at first. Like I thought she was lacing a bow or whatever you do with a
Yeah.
bow.
Well, there's
Um,
definitely like a tightening, like
Right.
and there's like blood
There
on
is
this
blood.
weird weapon.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
very from Software.
Yeah.
Specifically, more the weird weapon is I think kind of very Bloodborne esque.
Yeah.
The only other things was there was Japanese writing in the background,
Mm-hmm.
and the title simply said "Shadows Die Twice."
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know if that's the title of the game or if that was a tease for later tonight at the PlayStation Experience showcase.
We all kind of predicted that From would have something, that there would be something. So, like, the fact that it was something
it's good.
wasn't really surprising. to me.
Yeah, it's good. I was super excited. So here's an idea I just cooked up, Dustin.
Okay.
Let's say it's another Bloodborne game. Takes place, let's say, relatively in the same time in history. Same thing relatively happens with the blood issues, but it's placed in somewhere else.
Oh,
You know what I mean? So it's not it's not the like cathedrals. You know what I mean? Like the very gothic style. It's Bloodborne, but it's in another part of the world. Let's
It's the
say.
idea I always had for Cloverfield 2, where they would just find someone else's camera and
Yeah.
show kind of the same events from the different location.
That's cool.
there is. I saw someone on Reset Era saying like, oh, there was a boss in Bloodborne that was the Shadow of Yharnam. and so maybe that's somehow connected, but it could just be a vague name, Shadow, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I would not be surprised that we see more of this
Right.
tonight.
I really, really hope that's true.
My prediction is it's not Bloodborne 2. It'll be a new game, but it will play like Bloodborne 2. It'll be the spiritual successor.
Yeah.
Since there's the Dark Souls, Bloodborne, similar but different style, this will be like Bloodborne.
Can they ever make another game? Like, do they have to do that for the rest of their lives?
Well, they're not making Dark Souls anymore.
But like that type of game, can they ever change
It's-
genres? Even
It's
or
such a
something?
good formula. I mean, I don't know that I don't want them to. I mean, I think they're talented, but I think they work with what they got, and there's a lot of ways that they can expand it and even make it better.
How long can that go on? Can that go on forever? Maybe. I don't know.
I mean,
As
look at
people
Call of
buy it.
Duty.
Yeah.
I mean, how
That's
much
not
is
working.
What did you say?
how much is the formula change for Call of Duty in general?
Not nearly enough.
I mean, this year, pretty
Still making
significantly.
money though.
Yeah, it's still making money.
Well, no, I mean like the base of the game. How much has that formula changed
it's
ever?
still the same game.
You know what I mean? So
You still shoot things.
right.
People.
So that's a good point, Dustin. I mean, maybe they're trying to boot the new IP now. Now that they're like, oh, we're done with Dark Souls.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
they already have Bloodborne. They know it's a winner, right?
Mhm.
So boot the new IP, and then the next game, Bloodborne 2. Who knows?
That's right.
So
You were saying that they have 3 projects they say they're working on.
Yeah,
So we could still be seeing a successor to Bloodborne,
yeah,
it's possible.
but
What if we saw that tonight, and it's not what we saw today?
That would
Well,
that'd be intense.
That would be
there's
something.
also some things flying around the rumor mill about them working on like
Armored Core.
old games that are already
Yeah.
like remasters and stuff,
I think
right?
it's Armored Core. Is that right? I don't know.
I think so. Yeah.
Moving on, we got the new game from Campo Santo, which is the creator of Firewatch. It's called In the Valley of Gods.
Mm-hmm.
And this looked interesting. Very cool. We got some archaeologists.
Yep.
They're climbing around in a pyramid, taking a photo with the sunset through this thing.
Yeah. Looks good.
Look cool.
Yeah.
They tweeted today that they finally made a game where you shoot something,
Really?
but it's a
Oh,
documentary. It's
that's
a
right.
documentary that you shoot.
So Dustin, something I'd be interested in, because I remember we were really interested for Firewatch because it looks super cool. Do you think that you might? I know we don't know very much, but are you excited about it? Even though you thought Firewatch looked cool, but you didn't
Oh.
really like the execution that much.
I am conflicted about Firewatch because I liked a good bit of it, but I didn't like the ending and how the story wrapped up. I think that studio has tons of potential to make something amazing, and a lot of people thought Firewatch was amazing. And I don't think that they're wrong. I think it's a personal preference about what you think about the story. So I will be watching this game, and playing it for sure when it comes out. Which they do have. The only date they gave us was 2019. So
Right.
we're gonna be waiting at least
Yep.
a year.
I'm a big fan of 2 things about it. Is that I think Ollie Moss is going to be involved. Do you know Ollie
Oh,
Moss?
yeah.
He's going to
Yeah.
be involved, which I love Ollie Moss. And 2, I love the setting. I love Egypt. I love that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's going to be those things excite me about it if nothing else does.
The next one, surprise.
Yeah, it was good.
The second Breath of the Wild expansion is coming out, and they're like, it's coming out tonight.
Yep.
Wow, the
was
Champions
big.
Ballad,
It's a baller move.
it's
Yeah.
out. It was very baller. And what's funny is when Brandon and I did our predictions, I said that there would be a reveal, but it would be delayed.
Yeah, you.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was right about the reveal, though. So
Yeah.
there we go. That's
were half right.
Half right. So, Champions Ballad, it's out now. It's interesting because they didn't super clue in on like what the story is of what's going on. Did it sound like a prequel?
They just kind of said that you were going to learn more about the original guys.
Yeah,
which,
I think they're going to show the events that led to Link being, put
Right.
to sleep for 100 years.
well, I mean, that's what it seemed like because
Yeah.
they had Old Man, right?
I'm wondering if this will be you. Are you going around with Zelda, or is this like, are we gonna have to beat Ganon again? The answers are probably out there right
Yeah.
now. People have
See, I
played
think
it,
this is
but-
going to be like the Wolfenstein DLC that's coming out. I think you're going to have almost like an episode with each champion, and you go through their. I mean, I'm just spitballing, but that's what it seems like to me. That you'll play through each of their kind of stories, and then
Yeah,
For sure.
you get Link's bike, and you can.
that's what I was.
fly
Okay, yeah.
around. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
So
talk about that.
there's new
Horse
weapons, new weapons, of course, and there is that sweet like Guardian
Yeah.
motorcycle bike.
Which
Yeah.
I thought might be Mario Kart DLC at first.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was a tie-in, maybe.
Yeah.
but no, it looked cool.
Oh, cool.
I already have it downloaded on my Switch. I just we
Wow.
got home, went to bed, and
Yeah.
so I'm gonna be playing that hopefully at some point today. I'd like to play a little bit. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting for no other reason than it looks substantial in size. Like, it doesn't just look like another feature or something like that, like the map thing, which everybody kind of derided a little bit with the first expansion. But it looks like it's actually going to be a substantial amount of time worth of gameplay. Yeah.
And
Cool.
they had mentioned about something about the bike, about how you can interact with certain things in a certain way on that. So it might be more interesting than just riding around on it.
It shoots. It has a machine gun attached to it.
Wow, that
Yeah.
would be lit.
Rocket launchers. Wonder how people are going to interact with that shit, because everyone's riding around on a horse and you're just like fucking cruising on a chopper.
Yeah.
He better wear a helmet, Lonk. Safety first.
Safety first.
You don't want to become Lonk. You want to stay Link.
You want to stay. Another surprise: Soul Calibur 6 is coming.
Dude, when
2018.
oh my goodness.
Phil, I think you're the only one of
Oh,
us
my
that has
goodness.
experience with the series.
When he that whole whatever he said, does your soul still burn?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like I got goosebumps. That series, me and my brother used to play the hell out of that, and they always do cool things. Like a lot of games will do stupid stuff. Put it in. Sometimes Tekken's putting Final Fantasy 15 characters in.
Right.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but they've put Yoda in there. They've put Spawn. They've put good characters into their games. And Link was actually in the GameCube version of Soul Calibur 2, which was incredible.
Yep.
Will
a lot of
Yoda
fun.
make an appearance?
No,
Will Kylo Ren make an appearance?
possibly.
Wow,
that would be
be
incredible.
intense.
Wouldn't that be sweet?
I mean, it's a different time with Disney, though.
It is a
But
different time
man,
with
it would
Disney.
be.
Also, even like Rey with her staff, like beating the shit out of somebody on a
Right.
fighting game,
I
still be
mean,
super
I'd be
That
cool.
into
would be
that.
intense, yeah.
Um,
The people around me went insane.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. It was crazy.
I don't love fighting games, but that's a series that I always go back to. I would play every entry that comes out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another not so surprising, since we heard rumors of this a little while back, is that Bayonetta 1 and 2 are coming to the Switch on February 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's cool because I heard Bayonetta 2 is supposed to be amazing. One of the best Wii
Yeah.
U games. So I'm excited this is coming to the Switch.
Yep.
Play it.
Yep.
Because I just don't want to get out that old Wii U.
There's a lot of talk too that like they might be done with the Wii U games coming to the Switch.
I wouldn't
So I think
doubt it.
that gives a lot of hope that they're
Oh.
going to keep it going.
Yeah.
Keep it coming.
Yeah, I'm fine with bring them over.
Yep.
So I'm pretty ignorant. Is that like a beat 'em up game?
Yeah, it's
Kind of.
It actually is a lot like Nier as far as gameplay since it's
the same developer.
Platinum
Yeah.
Games.
Yeah.
So the big surprise though, and this is something I would have never predicted, was Bayonetta 3
Yeah.
is in production
Dustin.
right now.
You got to look out for this game. You love Nier so much. It's the same people, dude.
It is.
Look
I-
out for Bayonetta 3.
Platinum is weird though.
They're
because
so weird.
They either put out something amazing or it's
Legend of
it's
Korra.
trash. Legend of Korra was Platinum. That Transformers game was okay.
The Transformers game was great. I mean,
Um,
it was a very fun game.
They did a Ninja Turtles game.
That wasn't great.
It was not good.
Which after Transformers, you're like, all right, I'm on board with Ninja Turtles, and then you play it, and it's like, well, that didn't work out.
Yeah.
That didn't work out at all. And they have weird. They're one developer that can have exclusive stuff with so many different companies. They're not. They have these Nintendo exclusives, the PS4 exclusives. I don't know how much they do it with Microsoft exclusively, but they put out all those games
yeah.
on their consoles. But
Also, I feel like that's a really interesting move, putting Bayonetta only on the Switch.
Well,
that's how it was Wii U. Yeah.
that's
Really?
basically it's a deal between Nintendo and Bayonetta because I can't remember who published.
Capcom.
I
right?
swear.
Capcom.
Capcom published the first one, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Capcom didn't make any money off of it.
Right.
So like we're done, and then Nintendo was like, "Hey, I'm guessing Platinum owns the IP, and
Yeah.
so Nintendo said, "Hey, we'll pay for it.
Yeah.
You just got to put it only on our system."
Was
feel
it Bayonetta 1 on PS3 then?
It was
Bayonetta's on
everything,
everything, yeah.
Okay.
I feel like though,
But
it
not
was,
Nintendo.
It was well
Okay.
received. Bayonetta was well received, but didn't sell well.
Right.
Kind of like the Scott Pilgrim the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man.
I just
I
compare
could talk about
everything.
that.
Like
Let's have an hour podcast
So
about Scott
good.
Pilgrim the
Yeah.
movie.
So after that, Kojima takes the stage,
oh my gosh.
and we got the longest trailer yet for Death Stranding. It's very, very odd, and I mean, we could talk about this trailer for a long time and all the weird stuff. I can't even recap it.
It was the longest trailer of the night. It was very extensive.
I can
So-
recap the gameplay though.
None.
Yeah,
0%.
there it is. That was it.
It entered. I mean, it entered actual production not that long ago.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised there's no gameplay. I mean, I feel like only Kojima can do this, and I don't even know if get away with it, but just because he's Kojima, it's like
Right.
he wants to put out these little cinematic bits here and there, and that's just what he does. So
I mean, look how much discussion there is around it. Online.
Right.
Everyone was going crazy. They were standing and clapping
Yeah.
for Kojima. So
Yeah.
all the standing ovations were for Kojima, which
Yep.
is just interesting to me that we have one of the creators of Breath of the Wild on stage,
Right.
but no one stands for him or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
I did.
but no, it looked cool. There's there's that. I think the big standout moments were like there's a part where it like zooms into Norman Reedus's mouth and there's a baby inside of him.
That baby was all around.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
He's also in the capsule like
Yeah.
Del Toro in the one.
yeah.
So
It's
very weird.
Del Toro was there as well. I really
Yeah.
like.
Oh, yeah.
They legendary bromance.
Yes.
Kojima and Del Toro. And as they were walking off stage, they had their arms around each other, and I was like, man,
It was so cute.
that's a great bromance.
Yeah. It was really good.
Goals.
Anime romance right there.
Goals.
Is there anything else about Death Stranding? I don't even really know what to say other than watch the trailer and have your mind be blown.
Warped.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did see that Kojima tweeted this morning, if you're confused about the trailer, watch the previous two and they might get some hints about it or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know about
I don't
that.
know. I've seen the previous two and I don't think
What's crazy is they've been really pushing the last couple days that Mads Mikkelsen's character isn't who you think he is, and then he doesn't really show up at all in this. So, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. Doesn't make any sense to me.
The next reveal was a game called Witchfire, which is from, it said, the creators of The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, which is more walking sim story game, and Bulletstorm,
Yep.
Yeah.
which is interesting. So, I don't know, look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I thought that this was one of the ones that I had never heard of. This was a premiere tonight.
Yeah,
Or it was a
yeah.
premiere last night. I thought it looked awesome, honestly. From what I hear of Bulletstorm, even the remastered or whatever, it's pretty tight shooting mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they can manage to harness that, it looked awesome. Like, I don't want to say it looked a lot like BioShock, but it kind of gave me some weird, like, gun feels with the monsters and stuff. So I'd be excited to see more from that.
Yeah. Next one, which this is kind of a two-parter, was we saw more of A Way Out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the creator, which he also I can't remember what his name is. He also created a game called Brothers, which is supposed to be fantastic. I've never played it. But yeah, he came out on stage with Jeff and
Boy, did he ever.
said a lot of and talked fuck the Oscars.
He had a presence.
Fuck EA, but I still need their money.
Well, yeah, he was like talking about that microtransaction bullshit going on at EA, but then he was like, "Oh, but they take care of me."
Yeah.
It was like,
he was doing a lot of backpedaling for a minute there.
Yeah.
and then
Was he drunk?
No, I don't think he was drunk, but I liked how he's like, "Sorry, I'm a little jet lagged right now."
Right.
So
Yeah.
basically, if you say anything that's
Right.
a little out there, just say, "Oh, I'm a little jet lagged right now."
Right.
Then you're
That
fine.
makes sense. Yeah.
You're totally covered.
Fantastic.
I mean, it was funny to. His conversation was funny, and if for no other reason than I think he's funny, will I buy those games that he makes? But it was really funny to watch Jeff. Like, you could actively tell he was like, "Please don't say the things you're saying because I need that audience to respect."
He looked so
us."
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, Jeff, just let it go. But I
Right.
also understood the position he's in because
Yeah.
I've been in that kind of position before.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I was saying last night. It is so hard because was it funny? Yeah. But he's trying to make it something super serious
Right.
and like respected.
Right.
So if like a more conservative person was watching this to try and learn more and they saw that, they would, even if it was bleeped or whatever, they would just be completely turned off and be like, "Oh, this is ridiculous."
But the disclaimer at the beginning of the show,
Yeah.
you know, that
Yeah.
gave him that kind of
I
buffer.
mean, yeah, that's definitely true. But I feel like what happened there is a lot different than seeing something grotesque in a video game.
Right.
Like if someone's pointing at the screen and flicking it off,
Yeah.
you know, or
Was
whatever.
it any less offensive than, like, I don't know, Seth MacFarlane at the Oscars singing "I Saw Your Boobs"?
Oh,
for, like,
yeah.
the whole opening,
I remember that.
making everyone in the room uncomfortable.
Well, and the beauty of it being of the Game Awards being streamed, and one, they get a huge audience that way. But two is that you can do whatever you want, really, realistically.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I'm not glad. I'm not upset it happened. I'm glad it happened because I thought it was funny. But I understand how Jeff might have felt a little bit weird.
Yeah.
I liked when the guy asked him if he could watch the trailer for his game and then talk again, and he's
No.
like, "No, we
He couldn't get him to stop talking. He's like, no, we're done now. We have to move on.
He asked him to describe his game a couple times, and then he just kept going like that way.
And he asked him for the release date too, which the guy never gave.
Oh yeah, I thought the trailer was good.
Yeah.
It was just more of what we saw at E3,
Yeah.
which is just like super unique co-op,
Yeah.
Right.
getting out of jail. They did show a little bit more of a like humanity to it. Like it showed someone in the hospital, I think, at one point.
Yeah, I agree with that because it did talk a little bit about like the dynamic a little bit more than I think it did at E3 with how the one guy's like a badass or whatever, and the other guy's more calm, stuff like that. So,
finally, one of the last big ones was PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds showed off the new desert map,
Sweet.
which I think is available now. So PUBG players.
I think it's
Check it
available on the test servers. I think
Oh,
they
on the
said.
test servers. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
But they
good for them.
silently kind of pushed the Xbox version into next year when nobody was listening.
I think no.
Did they already
no,
announce
I thought
that?
it was this year.
no. The final 1.0 update, but
Oh,
it's
so-
going. It's going to.
So the Xbox one's still going to be early access.
early access.
Yeah. I just
Since
don't.
that's one of the. I think one of the reasons why they didn't go with PlayStation because they couldn't really do the early access model on PlayStation.
I didn't know they could
Yeah.
do that on Xbox.
So-
okay.
So, I'm gonna spitball. So just to give credit where credit's due, all this article I'm reading from is from Kotaku, and they have a couple other things that we can spitball real quick. Accounting Plus is coming to PSVR. That had the creator Rick and Morty on stage, which was cool. Or
Yeah.
Brandon.
Yeah,
Brandon.
that specifically seemed batshit crazy. It was just like
Weird as hell.
It was just like meme overlord,
Yes.
fucking dank spicy meme fest.
Yeah.
With like seriously, it was just like it was out of hand. It seemed really funny. So
THQ Nordic has a survival game called Fade into Silence, and it hits Steam Early Access on December 14th.
doesn't seem interesting.
Not interested.
God bless them.
When the person was laying in the snow, I was like, man, this is the new Tomb Raider because it was from like far away. I couldn't tell it was a guy right away, but unfortunately it wasn't. So
Fortnite Battle Royale is getting a 50v50 mode, and it showed some.
I think that's awesome.
dude. I think that PUBG needs to.
They're deviating. You
Watch
know what I
out.
mean? They're being their own thing at this point, and the battle royale, the fact that there were those two huge like make your own fort,
Right.
that was one of the coolest parts about it. And you could do that in the battle royale mode, but like if you're with your team and you're
Right.
building a huge fort and like battling, I just think that's so cool.
It's impossible to build anything substantial when you're dropped in Battle Royale right now. You don't have time.
If you have 10 people helping you, though, you know what I mean? You could just come out in seconds, you know,
Right.
you got like build.
Exactly, yeah.
But no, I just think it's really interesting that they're, you know, PUBG is adding a new map, but they're branching out as far as modes go, which I think is something that's cool that they're doing something else with it. So
We also got a trailer from the studio that made Payday.
Yeah.
They're making a game, terrible name, GTFO.
Yeah.
But it's a zombie game that kind of reminds me of Left 4 Dead.
A little bit.
I agree with that 100%. I definitely got those feels when you said that. Even with like the little health bars in the bottom left-hand corner, that was very Left 4 Dead too. So
The two last ones were a new story trailer for Metro Exodus. Never played a Metro game, but looks
No,
cool.
it's always a game I want to play.
Yeah.
I just don't get to.
The last Metro game I played was 6 or 8 years ago.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
And finally, we got a new trailer for Dreams. It's alive. It's real. It's coming in 2018.
Oh, okay.
I think it looks cool. I still
2018,
think,
sure.
yeah,
Sure.
I think we're gonna get more of that tonight.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get
It's
a
playable
demo.
at the
yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm very excited for
Yeah.
Dreams. Seriously,
I am too. Yeah.
I haven't, I've talked about how I like Media Molecule before with Little Big Planet 1, and this one just seems like that on steroids, like completely off the wall,
Yeah.
super anything you want it to be.
Right.
So.
You're not just stuck with Sackboy. You can do it.
Yeah, no, and it's some of the stuff I was seeing last night on that video is just like what is
I wanted to play all those games.
it's like what is going on here?
Yeah.
It's like you got like 8-bit guys and you got like fucking this giant I don't even fucking know. Well, watch it. It's just interesting.
Yeah.
So
So I think we can now finally talk about the actual winners of some of the awards.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. Do we want to try to move backwards here from less important to more important? We'll try to move quickly.
Right.
Hey, if you won an award, you wouldn't think it was less important.
That's true.
Or if you didn't win an award, Horizon Zero Dawn,
although
you would think,
yeah.
it's important.
right.
The article, it's interesting that there are some, that and they do this with all the other award shows and everything too. But there's some awards they don't even talk about in the show. There's some that they just like blaze through. But like, I think somebody was saying like best multiplayer game didn't even get announced. Period at the show.
Oh, yeah, it
Or in
did.
the
I think
pre-show.
Trevor Starkey
Yeah,
said
yeah,
that.
I think you're right.
Who won that? Did you look that up?
I didn't look it up. He said he couldn't find it.
I voted for Splatoon.
Because he was trying to match it up with his predictions. And
Right.
He did. And
Yeah, they did not announce that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think it's on this list
That's a
either.
big deal.
That's a
Like,
real big deal.
Yeah. I mean, I understand it's not big enough to do on stage, but
I think it's
fine.
bigger than esports player.
I would agree with that,
So-
but a whole bunch of people would disagree because
Dota.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what.
So I'm
Millions of
only.
people.
How about this? I'll try to find the ones that have something notable to say about it. Best debut indie game goes to Cuphead.
Mm-hmm.
Well deserved. Amazing what they were able to accomplish with never making a game before, for sure.
Yeah.
Phil, you said something interesting about this award this morning that I think is so incredibly true. Best strategy game goes to Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle,
Yeah.
which I think we can all agree is a fine game and potentially fantastic strategy game.
Probably.
But it beat out XCOM 2.
2.
Which is like the generic version.
Yes.
Beat out the original.
2.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's
Like
it's-
you play the XCOM games and you lose a party member and you feel something. One of
Yeah.
those rabbits goes down and you're just like, I got another million rabbits over here that
Yeah.
I can just pull
I'm
out of the
actually
hat.
happy.
Like,
I want them to be put down.
Like-
I play the game wrong.
I haven't played
Like,
2, but
you know, like
You're like,
XCOM
how can
1
I
is an
kill these
emotional
guys?
roller coaster of a game, and if XCOM 2 is better than 1, which I imagine it is,
yeah,
that should have been the shoe-in. That should have Rabbids and Mario.
Yeah, it just
it's Mario.
seems-
It's because it's Mario.
It's because it's Mario.
Nintendo bias.
I love Nintendo,
yeah,
but I
Yeah.
don't know.
It definitely was odd. I'm guessing it's just because more of the voters played Mario
Right.
plus Rabbids and they didn't play XCOM and they chose to vote on it anyway.
Yeah.
I'd like to see all the reviews and see how many of them talk about XCOM Lite when they're doing the review.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
Best
Sucks.
narrative was What Remains of Edith Finch.
Mm-hmm.
None of us have played that, but I think we're all interested.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that'll be cool. They did the Industry Icon Award and had a really nice little documentary about Carol Shaw, who programmed River Raid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very cool.
and a lot of other games.
A lot of
They-
other
they
games,
didn't-
too.
They didn't highlight them, but that was the one that they highlighted.
They did highlight how she did it by herself,
Right.
which is
Mhm.
really incredible.
Yeah, and so I thought that was fantastic. I thought it was cool that she was
Yeah.
there, and
She seems like a lady I'd want to just listen to her stories for a while.
Yeah.
oh yeah, for sure. Best art direction also went to Cuphead. This one was one of the ones that there was so many good choices,
Yeah.
like Persona 5. I think was that and Persona 5.
Also,
were-
Persona 5 or Persona 5.
what?
Persona 5, just in general.
Yeah.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
I think
yeah.
it could have been nominated 5 times itself.
Yeah, exactly. So that was cool for them. Let's see. Best action game, Wolfenstein 2.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Cool. Best independent game, Cuphead.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Again.
Cuphead.
Wow,
almost had
Cuphead.
to, right?
Swept a
I
couple
think
of
they
the
won
categories.
the most awards of anyone.
Yeah.
Did they? I
think
would.
you're right.
I would
I
be
think them
in-
and Hellblade both. I'd have to check the numbers on that.
I would-
Both might have won 3.
Hellblade has won. Hellblade won Games for Impact,
Mhm.
Best Audio Design,
Mhm.
and they also their
Best performance.
Best performance.
So
Yeah.
I think both won 3. I think they might have tied.
I
But
would
I'd
be-
have to look.
Yeah,
I
I
would
think
be
you're right.
interested to see what categories Cuphead was nominated for but didn't win.
I don't know if there was one. Was there?
Mm.
You know what I mean? I don't
They
know.
had game
That they didn't
direction,
win
I think.
action game.
Oh.
They didn't win action
Okay,
game.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Yep. You was
Moving
right.
was-
along,
You was right.
Mm-hmm.
let's see.
Once in a while.
Most anticipated game, Last of Us Part 2, which I'm surprised that won over Red Dead Redemption 2, but
Yep.
that's just a fan voted one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best studio / game direction goes to Legend of Zelda: Breath of the
Mhm.
Wild, Nintendo. Let's see what else we have here. The best score.
Mm.
This is an
Yeah,
important
yeah.
moment for me. Best score was Nier Automata. I'm glad to see that they won something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very nice, just because it truly is a absolutely beautiful soundtrack.
Yeah.
Make sure you
I
listen to
agree.
it.
Yeah.
I
Play
agree.
the game.
I said in our podcast last week that that's what I wanted to win.
You did. You
Can
did.
I sidetrack real quick? I was
Yeah.
playing Nier at my house, and Brandon was there, and I'm like, he was like he didn't want me to play it. And I'm like, oh, don't worry, I'm not to where you are yet. And I was thinking about it. I was like, hey Brandon, I'm just gonna tell you what happens at the end. He's like, no, don't do that. I'm like, well, you won't play it. And he's like, well, I didn't say that I refused to play it. And then
What
like,
about his Twitter bio?
then it was like a 5 seconds of silence, and he's like, well, I guess in my Twitter bio I did say I refused to play it. He's like, but I just mean right now I refuse to play it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
It was funny though.
You fight it.
Right.
Let's see. Yeah, here's Hellblade. The girl came up on Hellblade. I thought
Yeah.
it was cool that she was wearing the
That was
mocap.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that she got up there. She was obviously starstruck by
Andy
Andy
Serkis.
Serkis, which so was I, by the way. But
Right.
she was up there and she's like, I just like respect you, and I'm not even an actress. And
Right.
and at that point, I was like, I read that once, but it didn't make sense until she
Yeah.
won an award. That this person who is not an like it's like if
But a
I
video
designed a
editor.
video game
Yeah.
and won
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like she wasn't an actress and she won this award for the best actress.
Best
Actress,
performance,
best
yeah.
performance, yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I
And
teared
she
up
beat
a
out
little.
heavy hitters too, with Ashley Birch being on that list
Yeah.
and some others. That was
And
yeah.
BJ.
Yeah, BJ. Yeah.
Yep.
So, best role playing game, of course, Persona 5. I think that was almost no contest right there. So these were all out of order. Sorry, but
Yeah, but that's a JRPG. That's not what the category said.
no, Dave.
I was happy Final Fantasy got a
Best-
nomination though.
Best JRPG.
Probably the last person alive that cared about that, but
Oh yeah, yeah, that was nice. Final Fantasy
Yeah.
15, fine,
got
fine
something.
game.
It's a nice
fun
shoe in.
game.
Finally, game of the year was Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild,
it was.
which I think is a great choice
Mhm.
in a year that had so many fantastic games. I think that was, I was pretty sure it was going to win from the get go, but I don't know what there is to say that hasn't been said. I mean, Mario Odyssey, of course, technically reviewed higher, which is why Brandon put that as the prediction. But
That's a collective hire though. I don't know. It's an interesting review scores and
Yeah.
all that. It's hard to.
It was definitely relative when we talked
Yeah.
about it on the podcast. I was like, one of these two most likely is going to win, and then I picked that, and so he picked the Zelda. But
yeah, so that's it for the Game Awards. I think.
Yeah.
Is there anything we're missing? It's a good show, good time.
It was a real good time.
Zachary Levi did not hug me, even
Dang
though I
it,
wanted him
dude.
to.
No.
Dang it. But yeah, I think it was a great show. I'd love to go back again next year. I'm hoping if they keep Anaheim in for PSX.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah,
to
it makes
have them
sense to have
together,
them
yeah.
back to back. So, yeah, it was very good.
Yeah.
Very cool. So I guess that's it for this podcast. How long do we even go here? 49 minutes. Great.
It's good.
So
good
let's
length.
talk about real quick some plugs here.
Oh yeah.
We are going to be here in Anaheim all weekend,
Mhm.
and we are going to be at PlayStation Experience. And so we are going to be doing live show / podcast just like we are right now all weekend.
Yep.
In fact, we're doing another one today.
Might even have a guest at some point this weekend.
We're hoping to have a guest, which I don't know how we're going to fit more
We'll figure it out.
people. Right there on the lap, right?
Hop
We can
on
share
down.
microphones.
Right, yeah.
Brandon's been offering for people to sit on his face, specifically us, all weekend. So
Anyone.
Is it offering or threatening?
Debatable.
Okay.
It depends on how much leverage I have on you, really.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, in addition to the podcasts, we're also going to be doing interviews and posts over at handsomephantom.com. That's the place you're going to want to be.
We have
Oh, we-
17 appointments with developers
That's right.
between Saturday and Sunday. So that should be some good content. Some of it will be video, some of it will just be written, some of it might just be audio. And then we'll have maybe some other offshoot articles. Phil had an article up this morning
Yeah.
about how Horizon got snubbed.
That's right. We didn't
Yeah.
talk about Horizon not winning anything.
Yeah.
Phil mentioned it,
slipped it
but
in.
it got
Oh,
snubbed.
yeah.
His comment got snubbed too.
Yeah, it did.
Well, if you want to hear our thoughts or Phil's thoughts about that, go to handsomefam.com, and that'll take care of you right there.
Yeah.
Is there anything I'm forgetting? PSX.
If you want to say
2
hi,
days?
tweet
Yeah,
us.
if you're at the show, make sure to let us know. Come say hi.
Yeah, we want to meet up, have a drink, maybe chill.
Have a drink.
Drank.
We'll
gonna
be at
be
our
fun.
booth. We're just carrying this table around with us.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We gotta cheese it if they
Right,
come and make
yeah.
us move.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm thinking now. We'll get this podcast posted and that, but I think it's time to go eat.
It's time to eat and
definitely
drink a
time.
beer. I
I'm
think.
very
Oh
Yes.
hell yeah, dude! Now
Yeah.
you're talking.
I haven't had a drink since 4 o'clock yesterday morning.
Wow.
Beer
Wow.
me strength.
Thursday.
Beer me strength.
Was
That's
it
all
4
I've gotta
o'clock?
say.
We were at TGI Fridays in the
Maybe
airport
5.
drinking.
It might have been 5 a.m.
I think we got to the airport at like 4.
Yeah, so,
So,
it was probably about 5 o'clock in the morning.
Man.
3 of us had drinks.
Sorry, no drinks for me. I get too dry on the plane, dried out, headaches
Were you less dry than normal?
because I didn't drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have a headache at all yesterday.
Nice.
Which is fantastic and almost never happens.
Yeah.
So make sure also follow us on Twitter at Handsome Phantom. Search it, you'll find it because that's how you're going to find out about all the articles and also when we're going live to do these live podcasts, or just go on iTunes and Adventure Mode. You subscribe and you'll get it all directly right there to your feed, and you can listen along there.
Cool.
Okay, so hopefully we'll see you guys very soon. Have a good one.
Play
Right.
Horizon.